right, so today we're going to show you how to fillet this beautiful red grouper here. When it comes to filleting fish, 90% of them are exactly the same. It's going to consist of just a couple cuts. The first things you need is your supplies to fillet with. You need a bag for the fillets. I recommend, if you're new at filleting fish, to use a chain mesh glove, something like this right here, prevent you from cutting yourself. Use that on your non-knife holding hand. The next thing you're going to pick up is your knives. Now everybody's got their own personal preference on knives. This is what you'll see most people use. It's going to be a thin fillet knife, very flexible. What I prefer is a set of 2 knives. We use a round one like this. It's made by Victorinox. It's actually a boning knife. And we use this, which is a slicing knife as well. This is very flexible. Now what we do here at Wild Seafood is we do tag all of our fish. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this tag off to go in the bag with the fillets. First thing you're going to do with the fish here is you're going to run your knife directly down the dorsal fin, making sure your knife is following the bones on the back side. The next cut you're going to make is right behind the gill here. Cut across all the way down to the belly. Now most fish, these are the cuts that are made. There are some exceptions, such as flounder or some tunas, where you may have to make a few other cuts. You're going to get in here. I like to split it open just a little bit with my thumb so I can see what I'm doing. You're going to run this knife right across the bone, right across here. You'll feel your knife run across it. And you're going to cut all the way down to the spine. Next, you're going to move your knife over the spine and run down the bone on the bottom side as well. A lot of people cut straight down, but they lose a pretty large portion of the belly meat here. I like to go ahead and split the pin bone section in here and let my knife run all the way down the rib cage so I can get all of that belly meat. And you end up with your fillet. So that's where you'll have a skin-on fillet if you look at the other side here. If you like to cook with the skin on, before you start filleting, go ahead and scrape all the scales off with your favorite scaler or the back side of your knife. Today we're going to fillet this grouper skin off, so I'm going to pick up my more flexible skinning knife, or if you're using a traditional fillet knife, you'll use that in the same procedure. You're going to start right at the tail and cut down, but don't cut through the skin, and turn parallel to the skin. Work your way all the way up to the front. So now we have a nice skinless fillet. Discard that. The last thing we're going to do is trim this up. There's a strip of bones through the middle of the fillet here called the pin bone section. You're going to cut just on either side of that and discard that chunk as well. Now what we're left with on this side is a boneless, skinless fillet. Now moving on to the second side here, I find it's a lot easier to start towards the tail portion instead of the head, due to the fact the fish is laying a little bit more flat on the table. You're going to start at the tail portion, and just like you did the other side, let your knife run directly across the bone. Make your second cut across there, and then finish filleting the fish out by running your knife right down the bone. Over the spine, get the bottom section, make sure it's split apart here. Same thing, I'm going to pop the pin bones and let your knife run straight down the rib cage. And there's my other fillet right here. Now what's special on a grouper especially, some other fish do have them as well, you get an extra piece of meat, which is the grouper cheek. You're going to start just in front of where their cheekbone sticks out. You're going to cut at a downward angle, straight up under the jaw just like this. You're going to flip the cheek meat over, slice away from the skin, and peel. and you end up with some nice grouper cheeks here as well. All right, so what you're left with is a carcass at that point. Some people will take this and they'll boil it, make fish stock. Some people will roast this whole and pick the meat away from it. My preference with them, I like to use them as bait in my crab traps. So we'll set that aside from now. We'll go ahead and skin the second fillet. Trim the pin bones. And you wind up with 2 fillets and 2 cheeks. Get that bagged up. Include the tag in the bag so you can look up where your fish was caught and what vessel it came off of. All right. If you'd like grouper fillets just like this, you can go onto our website at wildseafoodmarket.com. You can order a grouper just like this red grouper right here and just request that it be filleted with the skin off. We'll send you some beautiful fillets just like this.